Scrum Blazers working to build that community to allow for discussions while providing specifications you can relate to so you can make an educated decision on your purchases. This one is going to be a classic one. It does have some upgrades to different models that are available through SK Blades, but this one's going to be the Buck Marksman. And then if you haven't experienced this knife, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. There's nothing like the Marksman, and then also it's also one of those little puzzle games because you got to get the action right on it, otherwise you have that happen to it. So it's really a fun knife to actually work with. So that's something that's really cool about this knife. And then thank you to currently 1,137 of you who subscribe to the channel. If you are still watching, and if you make it through the videos, I mean, consider subscribing to the channel. It does help out, and so I know that we're at least heading in the right direction with things. And then for giveaway sides, that's where I'm still trying to work that out as far as what's going to be on the giveaway side. So I'm thinking about a different process on doing that as far as that giveaway as well. But we will get there, so stick with it, and then you'll get some free stuff. So as we go, we're going to start off with this one for comparison side. So for this one here, we're going to be looking at some different blades. This is one from SOG. There's a kind of odd one because it's an arc lock flipper tab that can't flip. So it's very weird. But that one's there. So it's the Vulcan. A new one from Artisan. So that one's the Falcon. I think it's the Falcon. I could be wrong on that one. And then one that's amazing for flipping, that's going to be the Kaiser Dukes. Then we have Spyderco Delica. Then Stetker Ossus. I actually do really like that knife. And then we have the Perpetua. And then a classic as far as the Rat 2. So those are all the different ones there. For this one, for the hand sizing, it's going to work pretty well for most, and then it is going to be for male and female. So basically, it does go this way because kind of matching up with that hand sizing chart. So you kind of pick up the blade, and it would kind of be in hand as so. And I have a large size glove, so if you're going to be using it, so that's why the chart's printed that way. And then so print out the chart, use the scale for it, make sure it's printed out to the right ratio, and then you can kind of see where that's going to sit for you. So we're going to start with the adult female hand, and then we're going to roll into the adult male hand. And this one's running with 154 cm, so don't have that turn you off from the knife right away because it is available through SK Blades. They have a S35 VN version. There's still also some special editions that Buck themselves put out. So one thing great about SK Blades is it is a production knife that is produced for SK Blades. So it has a full warranty with it. So there's nothing that's like, oh, that's a custom knife, we don't warranty that type of work. Everything goes along with it. So they have a lot of cool things for it. They have Micarta handled Buck 110s available in better steel as well. So check out SK Blades, and then yeah, I mean, you're going to be pretty surprised with it because it also does have the G10 handle scales instead of this one has aluminum, and then also that upgraded steel from 154 cm to S35 VN. So for this one, for corrosion resistance, it's going to be kind of moving to the lower end of things, about 40% within that chart. And then for hardness side, it's going to be about 50% for hardness. And we're going to roll into the other chart from Creely Blades. That one's going to be about 55% roughly, and then that's comparison to all the super steels that are currently out because he upgrades pretty regularly as far as that information goes. And then for weight side, 4.3, I got 4.3, so that's accurate for that. And then we're going to roll into some of the actual flipper tab. So I used the Lyman pull gauge for this. And then this one is going to be really quite low, but one of the things with it is that this tab, with it being mounted so high up, has the travel to actually be able to work with it. So basically that's 1 pound. So 1 pound for 1 pound, 0.4 ounces. So that's going to be very low. So normally it's going to be about 2 to 3 pounds for an actual pull. But so this is going to be really light, but it does have a different action for it. So it actually gets away with it as far as that action. But one thing that I don't like about it, and then I heard that some of the other ones that are coated are a little bit less aggressive as far as this jimping goes. Really, I don't think this is actually necessary at all. I think they would rather do a radius on it. I would prefer to have it have a radius, so just a solid steel, and then basically do these type of radius corners on the bottom of this to actually give you some type of grip for it. But it really does not need to be there as far as that jimping goes, because even when you're holding it, your thumb's kind of on top, so it's not really even resting on that. Granted, certain handle grips you're going to be using that, but not really that much. So now this one has light switch, thumb stud or thumb flip, middle. You also do have kind of a pinch and roll, and also you can do inertia flip for it as well to flip that out. And then this one also can guillotine. So this is one that you do want to be careful with it, because if you don't flip it out, then it's going to just pop back at you. So if you actually do a small flip on it, it can bounce back. And then the blade just kind of moves around freely. So that's one thing that's nice about it, but also just be careful when you're using the knife. This one is right hand tip up and left hand tip up. So it's extremely deep carry for it, but this can flip over to the other side as well. Just has the screws on the top to make that adjustment for it. So 3.6 is the measurement that I got. 3.5 is what's advertised. Handle is 4.6. I got, and then advertised 4.75 for that one. So sharpness test. This one also is a carried knife. So it looks like also a micro bevel on this one. So it came out to a 301, which is still a high-end cutlery for it. And then microscope side. So take a look at that as far as that grind for this knife here. And then for behind the edge, and then this is where it's kind of a standard change. So I don't really hear it talked about in this fashion, but basically for this channel, the way I'm going to refer to it is by sheets of paper. So the thickness, basically one sheet of paper is about 0.1 millimeters. So basically that tenth of a millimeter is one sheet. So this one behind the edge is 0.7, so 7/10, which is 7 sheets of paper. So that is going to be this width. So if you take off the actual sharpened portion, that's going to be the stock right behind the edge for that one. So that's 7 sheets of paper is how that's going to be referred to. The tip side is 11 sheets of paper. So it is thicker at the tip of the blade, which is, I guess, good. I mean, it's going to be good for something that's going to be more a hard use type of thing. But it still slices fairly well for the knife too. But that's going to be the standards for that, at least on this side. So you can pick out 7 sheets of paper out of your printer, or 11 sheets of paper out of your printer to see actually what that thickness is for you if you don't have one of the knives, or if you don't have something to measure to actually get the thickness. It kind of just gives you a tactile feel as far as what that looks like for that. Currently for this price, I'm $114.99. MSRP is $155. But also, again, do look at SK blades. They had the 2 different models. One's orange, one's gray. The gray one's currently out of stock, but then the orange one is $109.99, and that is with G10 and S35 VN. So for $109.99, it's a screaming deal for it, and it's also, again, it's still full warranty with it for SK blades. So check that out for it. And then Buck itself, a lot of cool stuff from SHOT Show. So check out some of the things that are coming out. But really interesting to see what comes out from Buck this year. So for this one, again, it's a buy. Pick it up. Just as not really much like this type of action for the GHAWK type of action here. And again, it's kind of like a little toy. So if you want a fidget toy, and then kind of if you want to up your game a little bit, which I'm failing on, then you can pick up something like this, and it actually is pretty fun. So let me know in the comments down below as far as what you think, and thank you for your time.